some changes. 2 starters down now, big closing run for New York. That was the difference, and we are in the dark uniforms trimmed in gold, and for the second straight game, the Sabally gets the start for Jonquel Jones. Had a great game in their last win against Chicago, and it didn't take Ionescu long.
And you see right away with the on-ball screening action, Aaliyah Boston ends up with this switch on Sabrina Ionescu. Sabrina does a nice job with her footwork to shed, get enough space to finish.
Making sense and staying up with those switches will be a challenge for Indiana. Here's Clark, guarded by Sabally. It didn't take her long to throw one up.
Another team, the New York Liberty, who will switch 1 through 5. That's how Sabally ended up on Caitlin that possession.
Stewart left open. She has really struggled from 3. It almost doesn't look possible that she's shooting 15% from distance this year, by far her worst.
Matchup to keep an eye on this end of the floor. Brianna Stewart is the primary defender on Kelsey Mitchell. Much different size and quickness in that matchup.
A huge difference. Stewie listed at 6'4", Kelsey Mitchell at 5'8".
But that shows you how Sandy Brondello feels about Brianna Stewart as a defender. At 6'4", can use her length.
That time Mitchell was able to shoot over her. Good job by Kennedy Burke, who is in the starting lineup today for Phoebish. And Natasha Cloud, her first year running the point for New York.
It's the first time Kennedy Burke has missed a 3 in the last 3 games. She had made 7 in a row over her last 2.
Nicely done to get it inside to Mitchell.
Those two have such a great connection, especially when Kelsey Mitchell is in a corner and can make that baseline cut.
Burke gets in, and now a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Caitlin Clark, eyes always up. You see her there, tongue wagging. What a great look to see how she threads the needle to Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell's so dangerous because she can drain that three-point shot, but you turn your head, forget about it.
Burke has the free throw rim out. New York up 4-2. Ready to go 10-0 for the first time in their history. Clark able to take Burke off the bounce.
That's going to be a balance for Caitlin Clark. She told us in the first matchup when she got the switches, sometimes she settled for the 3 a little bit too much. That time, she navigated and instead went off dribble.
She took 11 threes in that game, only hit 2 of them, and here she is trying to guard Stewie. Burke outside. She has now missed 2. Sabally doing work inside.
That's what Niara Sabally can bring. The New York Liberty are not a great rebounding team this season.
Clark got it inside to Boston, who missed. And the Liberty averaging only about 1 rebound more a game than their opponents. Miss for Ionescu, and here comes Clark. This is one thing you get with Clark is great pace and great passes. Found Boston perfectly.
The placement on that pass, Pam Ward, was incredible by Caitlin Clark.
Nice finish for Sabally, but you're right, it looks like she has no room to get a pass in, and not only does she get it in, it's perfect, and there's a bounce pass. Mitchell left open. It ping-pongs out to Stewart.
Quite the pace here to start this game. Players trying to catch their breath as Sabrina Ionescu hits a dagger.
Ionescu averaging just under 3 threes per game. This is a team that leads the WNBA in many offensive categories. Let's go back to Caitlin's pass.
I mean, this is incredible. I mean, as Boston is running the floor, multiple defenders, there's 3 defenders, but especially Sabrina Ionescu, at the last minute puts her hand up. It is still placed perfectly. Quarterback, wide receiver, look at that. And then Boston's focus to corral the ball and finish.
She's making that pass from the back court. Sabally off to a really good start. Making just her second career start. She did not play at all.
Perspective in a way that she hadn't seen before. She said when you're playing, you're thinking about so many things, whether to pass, to shoot, to drive. You're trying to make decisions. While she was out, she said the game slowed down a little bit. She's hoping that perspective is something she carries throughout her career. She did say she might be rusty today. I don't know. She was making half-court shots yesterday at practice, so she looks pretty good to me.
And certainly the Indiana Fever very intentional with her minutes and how they're playing her today. You see her typically would not be out at this early stage of the game, but making sure they're giving her a little bit of rest along the way.
And Sophie Cunningham is back today. She has been in and out of the lineup with a hurt ankle. That's 2 straight turnovers out of the timeout. Stewie rolls in a toughie. That's an 11-0 New York run. Sydney Colson also into the game in the backcourt. Mitchell with a determined drive, ends the drought.
New York Liberty's defense has really been on point the last couple of possessions prior to that one. They're congesting inside, making Indiana take tougher looks when they get the ball in the paint.
No Clark on the floor. Colson inside.
There goes the double. You see it from Sabrina Ionescu.
Forces another turnover. And really struggling to hold on to the basketball. That's Boston's first foul.
Saw 4 help defenders in the paint once Aaliyah Boston got it inside. And then when she did, watch Sabrina Ionescu's head. Turns, dribble comes, hard double team. Results in not only the turnover, but the foul as well. The New York Liberty have really been on point thus far this season in terms of their defensive energy. I mean, a big part of that is that young woman bringing the ball up the floor. Natasha Cloud is elite on the defensive end.
This is what Cunningham does. Sophie giving them a punch off the bench. Head coach Stephanie White mentioned what a force she has been for this team. A team that had to cut Ari McDonald, who was absolutely brilliant coming in on a hardship contract, but they had to release her once they got back to their 10-player roster, pardon me. I don't think Ari McDonald's going to be out of a job for long.
No.
It's a Colson foul.
Point is way up.
Clark will check in at the next whistle. Johannes, little step back. Just with the miss. New York just 1 of 6 from 3. But still leading it by 9, and Clark comes back in.
Brianna Stewart, her ability to finish when she catches in the paint is at an all-time level this year. Not only Cunningham right there, Aaliyah Boston comes over as well. I mean, throughout her career, we've talked about Brianna Stewart and the wingspan and her elevation on her finish.
And then she gets the block as Mitchell tried to take it. Ionescu looking for her. Colson able to get her hands on it and mess up the fast break.
Brianna Stewart again, an elite shot blocker, always has been, and here just stays vertical, fingertip, able to get her hands on it and then sprinting the other way. She's finally at the place where her wind has completely returned and her fitness after missing some time with the knee surgery in the offseason.
This is the first week of camp. Harrison got Cunningham to bite on the fake and then had it roll away. Caitlin Clark last played for Indiana against New York, and now she takes it in off glass and has a chance for a 3-point play.
Caitlin Clark bringing the ball down, looking inside. Aaliyah Boston not open. Look at that crossover, then the spin. Tough finish on a really good defender. Rebecca Gardner is long, can move her feet. A little push off as well, and then finishing the tough one, an opportunity for a third.
Caitlin cuts the lead to 6 after another spectacular move. Gardner in her first year at New York. There she is. Inside to Stewie. They're going to say that she was held by
Son would know what locker code meant.
I have no idea. But Brianna Stewart or Caitlin Clark, what if you want both? Colson on the go. Sydney Colson in her 11th year out of Texas A&M has never been a big-time scorer, but is a great locker room presence.
I mean, for New York to be playing the way they are with two huge pieces out of this game right now with Jonquel and Leonie Fiedish. Sometimes it's easy to forget because their bench is so deep.
And they are unbeaten. Shot clock is winding down. Johannes with the top take, and it went in.
She shot that from like her waist and had just the perfect English on it to get it to drop.
Or French, maybe? She did not score in the regular season against Indiana, played over 15 minutes, but let's go back to that shot.
Great Johannes often makes difficult things look simple, and then just here, the spin that you see on the end of it, just absolutely perfect to get it to drop. Just such a nice, fun flair to her game.
Did not play in the league last year, stayed with the French national team in preparation for the Paris Olympics, where France gave the U.S. an incredible last game. France had to go home with silver. Stewart able to bring the basketball up. Here's Dantes trying to guard Stewart now, but still able to get a decent shot off. And Cunningham is down behind the play, but they've got Caitlin Clark to fire away from three. Cunningham just now getting up as she stayed down near the free throw line on the other end. Just coming back from an ankle injury, and then Johannes very coolly.
Two players with incredible up.
Well, back and forth we go. Clark with the three, Johannes answered, then Caitlin again. She's calling for the ball from Cunningham. Clark, another long three. She's back. The most dynamic player in the game. 9 points in 38 seconds for Caitlin. She hit all 3 threes.
And not only 9 and 30, but look at the depth on these field goal attempts. She's certainly feeling it. Left side, right side. Now come back to your favorite spot again. It doesn't matter if there's a hand in her face contesting. Look at that reaction. She can just do things that no one else in the women's game can.
3 of 4 from 3. She's already got 14 points. Again, wide right, and everybody's shocked that it didn't go in. Stewie able to run the floor, and a good find to quiet the crowd at least a little bit. Cunningham stripped. Or pardon me, Lexi Hall, as she tried to get into the paint. And now the shot clock's off, and Sandy Brondello wants one shot. Sabali, no call on the follow, but along with Rebecca Lobo, and we're pleased to be joined now by Sandy Brondello. Take a breath after that first quarter. What would you like to see your team maybe do differently in this second quarter?
Yeah, look, I think we're giving Caitlin too much space there. She's a great player. She can shoot from all over the court. We just got to match her up a little bit earlier. But otherwise, you know, if we can keep him in the half court, that's pretty good for us.
And shooting 50% on the offensive end, what did you like that you saw offensively?
Yeah, look, we're moving the ball when we need to. We're trying to get certain people in the actions. You know, our turnovers, I think we can tidy that up a little bit. But, you know, so far, so good.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Sandy Brondello, who took her team to the WNBA championship last year, the first title for this New York franchise. And yes, this is the best start in franchise history. They're trying to get to a 10-game winning streak, which would tie their best ever for this franchise. They've done it twice previously. Lexi Hall able to draw the offensive foul.
You saw how intentional the New York Liberty were, though, that possession, and getting eventually the switch of Hull onto Brianna Stewart. Yeah, Stewie's elbow just gets out and gets Hull in the face, but there was multiple screening actions that New York used until they finally got this switch, and yeah, that's an offensive foul when it's the elbow to the face of the defender.
Second foul on Stewie. Both of them have been offensive fouls. She takes a seat. Now Clark guarded by Kennedy Burke. Tasha Howard now in the game for Indiana. Colson fires. Howard right away hits the glass, but couldn't follow. Sabali has been really good. That one's a little bit too strong. Sabali with a strong first quarter. Making her second career start, second in a row, and Clark stays red hot. And for the first time today, Indiana has the lead. They were down by as many as 11, but Ionescu takes care of that quickly. Bounce pass, perfect to Howard, but back rimmed it. Dantes, yes.
But just great offense, because Caitlin Clark's been on a heater, and so you give her the ball, roll, and she delivers it perfectly. I think she just looked over at the bench asking for a sub.
And you can tell that she is not her usual self, huffing and puffing a little bit. That's one of the concerns, as she has the bounce pass kicked by Cloud.
So a mistake defensively by Kennedy Burke, leaving Caitlin Clark, and so Caitlin recognizes how open she is. Burke can't quite get there, drains the three. You know you need to give Caitlin Clark defensive attention, so what happens now? Two players go there and she hits the roller. Howard wasn't able to get her the assist, but pass was delivered perfectly.
Caitlin with 4 threes on 6 attempts, and Hall able to pick up the ball and finished on the second chance. Hull's first points. Go ahead, pardon me.
No, Hull just has a knack for going to the offensive glass, and that comes with effort. She's consistently crashing.
Numbers going up every year at a season high. 15 points against New York when they played back the third week of May.
It is shocking to see Kennedy Burke miss 1 3 this season. She's leading the league at over 60%, but to see her miss a couple.
Count it! As Mitchell celebrates from the floor.
She said that means, you know, getting angles, playing in transition as much as possible, and just being herself. And if she doesn't overthink the process, then she can be a really great player.
She's the reigning East Conference Player of the Week. Nice play as Cloud got it into Sabali.
Yeah, great probe by Cloud and then cut by Sabali.
Cloud making herself at home very quickly with this New York Liberty team, and they lost Sab. So Ionescu finishing to get New York back to within 2 points. Sabrina now into double figures. She had 23 when these two teams first played. Rolling. The ball stays with Indiana as Clark comes back in. Olsen gets a nice hand as she heads to the bench.
To go back to Christine's report on Kelsey Mitchell, Mitchell is a player who's so good when she's playing off of instinct, and also, as you see the take by Hull, her field goal percentage much better when in the games with Caitlin Clark versus those without, of course, because Caitlin's going to draw defensive attention. She's going to find you on drive and kick opportunities, and so Kelsey Mitchell went on that little burst there with Caitlin off the floor, but has to be happy about having Caitlin Clark's presence back out there with her.
Yeah, absolutely. The opportunity for more assists make everybody better. That foul was on Burke. Here's Hall at the line. Only 55% from the line this year. Upcoming WNBA national TV schedule tomorrow on CBS. Chicago's at Connecticut at noon Eastern. Amazon has 2 on Thursday, starting at 7 Eastern. Phoenix at New York. Indiana at Golden State. That'll be fun. And Friday on Ion, Dallas, Connecticut. Seattle, Vegas. Go to WNBA.com. Visit the WNBA app. And games at the Chase Center in San Francisco are amazing. Great fans. They pack the house, and they're going to love when Caitlin and company come to town. Inside 6 minutes, that had to be a foul on Hull, and it was as Stewie hit the deck. So Indiana leading New York by 3 as we take a timeout. Caitlin Ionescu off to great starts.
It is a foul. She didn't like it, but that's a foul.
They got her. And now a foul will send Breanna Stewart to the line, so knocks them both home. It's been getting there quite often this year and gets New York back to within 1. Stewie 0 for 2 from 3 so far in this game. Clark directing traffic. And then steps back with the 3 over Breanna Stewart. And then she and Stewie have a nice exchange on the way back up the court.
They're just laughing at one another at the absurdity of what Caitlin's done so far here.
Cloud tries to answer. Ball goes out of bounds and belongs to Indiana.
Just the nerve, the second-year players clearing out that side of the floor, shooting on Stewie, and then watch the reaction with one another. Stewie's laughing. Caitlin knows it's ridiculous. Just out there having a good time with it all.
Yeah, Stewie certainly can appreciate what Caitlin is doing. Now Caitlin going to drive around Stewart. Hull left open momentarily, and she nailed it. Stewart with the nice pass from Ionescu. Quickly answers. The pace of the game still rolling.
We showed the fit a little bit earlier, Pam Ward. The best fit of the day is about to pop up on your screen. That is Remy James Rucco. Ryan Rucco's son was born this morning. Congratulations to Ryan, his wife Andrea, big sister Evie. The ball being given to the New York Liberty.
And it's an unsuccessful challenge, and the technical free throw shot taken and made by Ionescu. So Sabally will inbound. Stewart matched up with Mitchell. Hand off to Ionescu, who drew a foul and draws the ire of the fans here. That's the second on Kelsey Mitchell.
And so now there's going to be frustration not only by the fans in attendance, but by the players as well, because at one end you had a player get fouled pretty aggressively, and then on the other there's minimal contact. By the way, I have to apologize to Remy James Rucco that we showed his picture right when the entire arena was booing.
Yes, they were not booing Remy.
They're not booing you, big guy, and we're sorry about the timing of all of that.
So congrats to Ryan and family. What a game this is turning into. Getting a little choppy now, but it's close. Indiana up by 2. As we're gonna send you back to the studio.
Time presented by State Farm on the way. Monica McNutt, Andrea.
And now a whistle as Caitlin's shaken up a little bit.
Move over the screen and accidentally gets Caitlin hit in the face.
Yeah, got her on the upswing.
There's no jealousy there, fans. Just a basketball. Just a basketball foul.
Mitchell with the shot clock going off. Now Ionescu brings the ball up for New York. Sabally passing for New York. They go around the horn and Stewie finishes off glass.
Just a beautiful offensive possession by the New York Liberty, and it's one of the reasons they've had so much success this year is the way they move the ball and share it.
Clark trying to answer, and indeed she does.
What an incredible half so far from Caitlin Clark. She has more than half of her team's points.
Ionescu given a little bit of room. The ball bounces around, and Leah Boston able to grab it. Boston only has 2 points in this game, 1 of 5 from the floor. Oh, behind the back action. Oh, from the corner. Behind the back to Boston, but she gets the assist on the home make, and that ends a 7-0 New York run. Sabali driving on Clark, and then was able to gather the rebound and put it back in. Sabali now with 5 boards to go along with her 8 points. Make it 10.
We've seen Caitlin get tricky on the offensive end with the shots she's making, but how about the behind-the-pack delivery for the hockey assist? Great decision by Aaliyah Boston to find her shooter in the corner.
Yeah, Boston's a really good passer, makes good decisions out there. Stephanie White was talking about her high basketball IQ.
She's the second best passer on the Indiana Fever team.
Who's the first? This one?
Caitlin Clark!
Feeling the 3. She's got 6 of them. Howard gets it to Clark. Another perfect pass to Hall. But it wouldn't go in, and the ball goes over to the Liberty.
I mean, Caitlin, in the way she's been able to get her shot going from deep, deep range here today has been off the charts.
Stewart driving on Boston, and she draws another foul.
Just taking one more look at it. The depth on this shot. Sabrina Ionescu right there. Contest simply doesn't matter.
Stewart delivers from the line to cut the lead back to 4. Mitchell guarded by Stewie, and a whistle away from the action. And what a great start this is. How about?
It's got to be a significant number where 25 points in a game would be their career high. And that's her career high for half.
That's what she's sitting on right now. Had 18 points in total in the game against New York back in May, the game in which she hurt her quad. Missed the last 5 games. Her team went 2-3. Howard at the line. Howard coming back to Indiana, where her career started. 2014, when she was drafted out of Florida State. Shot clock winding down for Sabali, who challenges Clark. Caitlin playing with 2 fouls. Mitchell spots up. Izzy Harrison. Ball caroms to Ionescu. We hit a minute to go. Cloud shot has been off, but Harrison is able to sneak in to get the offensive rebound and put back.
Yeah, the New York Liberty have done a really nice job getting in and attacking the offensive glass, keeping balls alive to get extra opportunities.
10 second chance points now for New York. Clark a little bit too strong, but Boston saves the possession. And now Howard working against Harrison. Tough move. Mitchell Ionescu, now the switch. Mitchell's on Stewie. Boston came over to help. And the ball is tipped out to Cloud. Ionescu trying to finish the half and does with the three. Another big offensive rebound for New York. And it ended up with another three.